Chapter 5, The Price of Truth. The safe house Silas led them to was a cramped apartment wedged between a noodle shop and a black market clinic in the Meridian District's lower levels. The building had seen better decades, its concrete facade stained with rust and urban decay. Inside, the apartment was spartanly furnished but clean, with reinforced windows and what looked like military-grade signal dampeners built into the walls. Kael sat on the edge of a worn couch, his head in his hands as the neural stabilizer Rook had given him worked to quiet the chaos in his brain. The constant background static that had plagued him for days was finally fading, replaced by a clarity that felt almost foreign after so much pain. "Better?" Rook asked, settling into a chair across from him. She had changed out of her surgical scrubs into dark street clothes, but her augmented eye continued its constant scanning and analysis. The device clicked softly as it focused on different parts of the room, cataloging potential threats and escape routes. "Much," Kael replied, looking up at her. "Thank you. I wasn't sure how much longer I could function with that interference." "The stabilizer will buy you time, but it's not a cure," Rook warned. "The degradation in your neural pathways is still progressing. We have maybe 72 hours before the damage becomes irreversible, even with surgical intervention." Silas emerged from the apartment's small kitchen carrying 3 cups of synthetic coffee. The bitter smell filled the air, mixing with the ozone scent from Rook's augmentations. "So we have 3 days to expose a conspiracy, prevent a mass assassination, and somehow stay alive while doing it. Wonderful." Rook accepted her coffee and took a careful sip. "I've been thinking about the timing. The Cortex Link Prime launch event isn't just a product demonstration. It's a gathering of the most powerful people in the corporate hierarchy. CEOs, government officials, military contractors. If someone wanted to reshape the power structure of the entire city, that event would be the perfect opportunity." Kael leaned forward, his mind racing despite the fatigue that weighed on his body. "But who would have that kind of access? The kill switches we discovered require administrative privileges at the highest level. Someone with complete control over the provisioning servers." "That's what I've been trying to figure out," Rook said, her augmented eye whirring as it processed data. "I've been monitoring the network traffic patterns for months, looking for anomalies. The updates being pushed to specific implants aren't random. They're following a pattern, targeting people in specific positions." She pulled out a small tablet and projected a holographic display into the air between them. The image showed a complex network diagram with nodes highlighted in different colors. Red nodes are confirmed deaths from neural cascade failures. Yellow are people who've received the modified code but haven't been activated yet. Blue are the targets for tomorrow night's event. Kael studied the pattern, his programmer's mind automatically analyzing the data structure. This isn't just about killing people. It's about removing specific individuals while leaving others in place, like someone is reshaping the corporate landscape according to a predetermined plan. "Exactly," Rook said. "And look at this." She manipulated the display, zooming in on a cluster of blue nodes. "These are all people who've been vocal critics of Synergenica's expansion into military contracts. Remove them, and the company's path to becoming the primary neural interface supplier for the armed forces becomes much clearer." Silas set down his coffee cup with a sharp clink. "So we're looking at a corporate coup. Someone inside Synergenica is using the Cortex Link to eliminate opposition and consolidate power." "But who?" Kael asked. "The number of people with the necessary access is limited, maybe a dozen individuals in the entire company." Rook's expression darkened. "I have a theory about that. My brother wasn't just a beta tester for the Cortex Link. He was part of a special program testing enhanced versions of the implant for potential military applications. The people running that program had access to everything: the core architecture, the provisioning servers, even the manufacturing protocols." "What was the program called?" Kael asked, though he suspected he already knew the answer. "Project Mindbridge," Rook replied. "Officially, it was shut down after the early test failures, but I think it just went underground. The same people, the same technology, but hidden from oversight." Kael felt a chill run down his spine. He remembered Project Mindbridge, remembered the excitement, in the executive meetings when they discussed the potential military contracts. He also remembered the secrecy, the compartmentalization, the way certain aspects of the project were kept away from the main development team. Dr. Marcus Chen, he said quietly. He was the security architect for Mindbridge. If anyone would have the access and knowledge to build these kill switches, it would be him. Rook's augmented eye focused on him with laser intensity. Chen is still with Synergenica. He's been promoted to Chief Technology Officer. He'll be at the launch event tomorrow night, along with all the other targets. Either he's the one behind this, or he's about to become a victim, Silas observed. Either way, we need to get to him before tomorrow night. Kael stood up and began pacing the small room. The neural stabilizer had cleared his thinking, but it had also made the magnitude of their situation more apparent. Chen won't be easy to reach. He's got corporate security, probably personal bodyguards. And if he is behind this, he'll be expecting someone to eventually figure it out. There's another problem, Rook said, manipulating her holographic display again. I've been monitoring the communication patterns to the provisioning servers. There's been a massive increase in activity over the past 6 hours. Someone is accelerating the timeline. The display showed a spike in data traffic that looked like a mountain peak rising from the baseline noise. Kael studied the pattern, his blood running cold as he realized what he was seeing. They're not waiting for the launch event, he said. They're pushing the kill switch updates now, to everyone. Rook nodded grimly. Based on the traffic volume, I estimate they're targeting every Cortex Link implant manufactured in the past year. That's not thousands of people, it's hundreds of thousands. Silas dropped his coffee cup, the ceramic shattering on the floor. We have to stop this, right now. How long before the updates are complete? At current transmission rates, maybe 8 hours, Rook replied. But the activation codes could be sent at any time after that. They could trigger a mass casualty event with the push of a button. Kael felt the weight of responsibility crushing down on him. All those people trusting in the technology he had helped create, unaware that their implants had been turned into weapons. What can we do? We can't warn everyone in time, and even if we could, who would believe us? We stop it at the source, Rook said, her voice hard with determination. We get into those provisioning servers and shut down the whole system, permanently. That's impossible, Silas protested. The security around those servers is absolute. Military-grade encryption, physical isolation, armed guards. It would take an army to get through their defenses. Not an army, Rook corrected. Just the right person with the right access codes. She turned to look at Kael. You built the original Cortex Link architecture. You know the system better than almost anyone. And you still have your employee credentials, even if they've been suspended. Kael shook his head. My access was revoked the moment I fled the lab. I couldn't get past the front door of Synergenica Tower, let alone reach the server room. Not through the front door, Rook agreed. But there are other ways in. Service tunnels, maintenance shafts, emergency access routes. The building's security focuses on the main entrances, not the infrastructure. You're talking about breaking into the most secure building in the city, Silas said. Even if we could get inside, the server room itself is a fortress. Biometric locks, armed security, automated defense systems. Rook smiled, but there was no humor in it. I've been planning to hit those servers for 3 years, ever since my brother died. I know every security measure, every weakness, every way in and out. I just never had the access codes to make it worthwhile. She stood up and walked to the reinforced window, looking out at the city lights that stretched to the horizon. The question is whether you're willing to risk everything to stop this, because once we start, there's no going back. Synergenica will hunt us to the ends of the earth. Kael joined her at the window, staring out at the millions of lights that represented millions of people, many of them carrying potential death sentences in their heads. They're already hunting us. At least this way we have a chance to save lives. It won't just be our lives on the line, Rook warned. If we're caught, they'll make sure we disappear completely. No trial, no questions, no trace that we ever existed. Then we don't get caught, Kael said simply. Silas sighed and began cleaning up the broken coffee cup. I suppose asking you to reconsider would be pointless? Completely, Kael replied. In that case, I'm coming with you. Someone needs to watch your backs while you're playing with the servers. Rook turned from the window, her augmented eye clicking as it refocused. We'll need equipment, specialized tools for bypassing the security systems, portable processing units for handling the encryption, weapons in case things go wrong. I know where we can get everything we need, Silas said, but it won't be cheap, and the people we'll be dealing with aren't exactly trustworthy. How much? Kael asked. More than we have, but I might be able to work out a trade. Information for equipment. There are people in the underground who would pay well for advance warning about what Synergenica is planning. Rook shook her head. Too risky. If word gets out that we know about the kill switches, it might force them to accelerate their timeline even further. We need to keep this quiet until we can stop it. Then how do we get the equipment? Silas asked. Kael pulled out the data chip Lysander had given him, the one that had started this entire nightmare. We use this. The evidence of the conspiracy should be worth something to the right buyer. Someone who has their own reasons for wanting to see Synergenica brought down. The syndicate families, Rook said, understanding immediately. They've been fighting a shadow war with the corporations for years. Proof of a mass murder plot would give them enormous leverage. It's dangerous, Silas warned. The syndicates don't make deals lightly, and they don't forgive betrayal. If we cross them, we'll have more than just Synergenica hunting us. We're already dead if we don't try, Kael pointed out. At least this way, we might take some of the bastards with us. Rook moved away from the window and began gathering her equipment. I know someone who can arrange a meeting, neutral ground, minimal risk, but we'll need to move fast. Every minute we delay gives them more time to complete the updates. As they prepared to leave the safe house, Kael felt the neural stabilizer beginning to wear off. The background static was returning, a reminder that his own time was running out along with everyone else's. But for the first time since Lysander's death, he felt like they had a real chance to stop the conspiracy. The city stretched out before them, a maze of corporate towers and underground tunnels, hiding secrets and conspiracies in its depths. Somewhere in that maze, people were planning mass murder on an unprecedented scale. But they weren't the only ones with plans. The hunt was about to become a war. Length, medium chapter completed. Assessment, advanced the conspiracy revelation while building toward the climactic infiltration. Balanced character development with plot progression, showing Kael's growing determination and Rook's strategic thinking. Maintain tension while providing necessary exposition about the scope of the threat. Editor notes. Key narrative choices aligned with arc, black market fragments. Develop the alliance between Kael, Silas, and Rook while revealing the true scope of the conspiracy. Character development focusing on Kael's acceptance of his role and Rook's expertise and motivation for revenge. Style consistency maintained with conversational language and cyberpunk atmosphere. Connections to previous chapters through continuation of the neural stabilizer treatment and investigation findings. Structural considerations for flow and pacing. Built toward the planned infiltration while escalating the immediate threat through the accelerated timeline